everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new day. It is Tuesday. It's still morning for 2 more minutes. It's 11:58. So I am going to do a slow cooker meal for supper tonight, and this is another freezer meal using what we have in the freezer. And today we are using this bag of meatballs we've had in there probably, I have no idea. We probably bought them for an appetizer sometime this past year, and we just never used them. So we're going to use them today. So we're using up all the older food, and next time we go grocery shopping and we buy meat, Gypsy, no. And we buy meat, then I'll put dates on them. I just had to stop Gypsy. She likes to eat the cat food, and I can't have her eating all the cat food because it's expensive. No. Okay, she's gonna walk away now. So yeah. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I'll date the new food so I know which is new. And I know anything without a date is going to be the older food and the food to eat first. So, alright, so we are making a meatball, a Salisbury meatball and gravy. I think that's what it's called. Slow cooker Salisbury steak meatballs. So, we are going to use this bag of flame broiled home style meatballs. And what I'm going to do, Glenn had a good idea of cutting them in half so more of the gravy flavor goes through the meatballs, and also I think it's easier to eat them that way too. So before I put them in the slow cooker, I'll cut them in half. But what we're going to use for the ingredients, I have my tablet with the Glenn found this on Facebook. He looks on Facebook for a lot of recipes, and so and what I do, and he does it also, is I have my share defaulted to only share to me. So I can save a bunch of recipes and he saves a bunch as well. So the ingredients for this is going to be the bag of meatballs. It's calling for 2 cups of beef broth. 1 can is 14.5 ounces, which is just under 2 cups. I'm not going to open a new can just for a little bit of it, so I'm just going to use 1 can now. If we need more juice, then I'll open it, but for now I'm just using 1 can. We're going to use 1 pack of brown gravy mix, and again we're using stuff we've had because I've had this brown gravy mix for a while, so I want to use it up. 1 pack of onion soup mix, and then we're going to use some ketchup and some of this Worcestershire sauce. So it's calling for 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of this, and I'm just going to guesstimate. I'm not going to measure it. So and then later on we're going to put this on low for 4 to 5 hours. The meatballs are already cooked, so we're not actually cooking anything. So about a half hour before they're done or whatever, or we serve, we're going to make a cornstarch slurry. So I'll have to remember to do that. So, alright, so it's pretty simple, and I'll be making some homemade mashed potatoes later, and that'll go with it. So, alright, so I'm going to get started cutting the meatballs in half, throwing them in the slow cooker, and then making the mix. So, alright, so let me get my cutting board. Alright everyone, so these meatballs are semi-froze. They're pretty much thawed out. I took them out of the freezer just a little bit ago, but I'm just cutting them in half like that. And so once I get this going, I wanted to get this going before I ate lunch, or before we ate lunch. So I'm just going to make some of the leftover taco meat and just make some tacos again. But I just want to make sure I got this going in the slow cooker so I can eat comfortable. And yeah. So quite a few of you liked the idea of what I did to keep track of our freezer food by making that list and putting lines down as to how much we had. Yeah, I think that's going to work good. I've been marking off as I've been taking. So when I'm done here, I'm going to mark off the meatballs, and we'll show you where we're at with that. So and some of you also like the breakdown I did of the cost to make it versus the cost of buying it in a fast food place or a restaurant. So I'm glad you're enjoying that. I'm not saying I'll do that for every single meal I do, but because some of them, like this, I'm not sure where I would find it in a restaurant around here, so I'm not sure I can do the breakdown compared to buying it in a restaurant. And I think this is going to be plenty for a second night. So yeah, I think it's going good. Gypsy's on my side watching me cut these. She's hoping one will fall. So it's warming up. This morning wasn't too bad, but the real feel is still only 5 degrees outside. So it's not like it's super warm, but alright, so now I got all the meatballs cut up, and let me get a bowl to do all the mix together. Alright, so let's get this mix going. I'm going to put in my can of beef broth, my brown gravy mix, onion soup mix, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, a tablespoon of the W sauce, splashes all over me, and we're going to whisk this together. Alright, let's pour it over the meatballs and get it going. There we have the meatballs. Just make sure all your meatballs are covered in the juice. That looks pretty good. Alright, I'm going to put it on low, cover it up, and let it run. And then we'll see how much, how thick we need to make the juice later on. Alright, so we got that going. And now I'm going to make my tacos, but first let me clean this up. And then I'm going to grab my book with our freezer food and show you where we're at. Alright everyone, so I don't know if you remember yesterday I went to Meijer because I said I needed a can of mushrooms. So this recipe actually did not call for mushrooms, but I know Glenn likes mushrooms and stuff like this, so that's why I wanted some mushrooms. So I drained out the juice and just poured the mushrooms in there. So now we got mushrooms in there. I don't eat mushrooms, but they're big enough where I can pick them out if I want to. So alright, so that's that. And let me put this back and bring on the book. Alright everyone, so let's see where we're at in our freezer food book. Alright, so I'll bring you a little closer. So ground beef, I have 2 pounds crossed off. We used one for hamburger patties Saturday night and tacos for lunch yesterday and today. Chicken breast, I crossed off 4 pounds, or not 4 pounds, 4 breasts, because I used those for the sweet and sour chicken. I just crossed off the 1 bag of meatballs, because we just are using that today. And as I cross off the amount we have, I'm going to leave what it is because in the future we'll still buy that. So I already have it written down. Alright, so let's see what else we got crossed off here. I have 1 chili from Glenn and 1 from me crossed off. We had that on Saturday for lunch, or Sunday, something like that. And then the lo mein bowl with the sesame chicken, I crossed that off. I had that for lunch over the weekend. And then hash brown patties, I crossed 2 off. We used 2 of them for our breakfast tacos. And then I have the 1 tub of Cool Whip crossed off. We had Jell-O with Cool Whip on Saturday night with the hamburger patties. And then I crossed off the half stick of chorizo because I used that for the breakfast tacos, as well as the small pack of bacon. And yeah, so that's everything we've used so far. Now to the meal plan. As you know, I've moved stuff around, but we did have our hamburgers, and we're having the Salisbury meatballs today. I'm trying to write down lunches we had, so I know where the meat is going as well as supper. So we had the chili Saturday. Sunday we had breakfast tacos. Monday we had tacos, and today we're having tacos for lunch. And then I'm just check marking off the meals as we go through the week. So the sweet and sour chicken, that was for Wednesday and Thursday. I just marked those off because we had it already. And then we're having the Salisbury meatballs today with mashed potato. Oh, I'm going to make some broccoli with it as well. So I got to take that out of the freezer and mark it off. Alright, so that's how we're looking so far. I think it's going pretty good. And now I'm going to make my lunch because I am hungry. So, and I won't record that because you already saw me make it yesterday. Alright, so I'm just going to warm up taco meat and heat up my shells. So stay tuned. Alright everyone, so the meatballs are basically on warm. That was a matter of heating them up. So I could have really just started that way later. But nonetheless, they're just staying on warm. And right here I have the broccoli. And I got them in that steamer that was sent to me in friend mail along with this pot and pan set. So I am making both heads of broccoli. So that's what we're waiting for mostly. And over here I've got the potatoes and I'm getting ready to mash those up. So the broccoli is going to be next. So alright, so should be done soon and we'll be ready to eat. Alright everyone, so our supper is done. We've got the mashed potatoes there and the Salisbury meatballs. I'm not excessively hungry, so I didn't take too much on the meatballs, but I will take some potatoes. Unfortunately, the broccoli was bad. It had a spoiled taste, and I know I've had it in the freezer ever since we got it, so I don't know. We got that from the pantry. Oh, look how long it's been since we've been to the pantry, so that's how long we've had it. But it's been in the freezer all the while, but it did not have a good taste. So unfortunately, that's not going to be eaten. So, alright. So a little taste test on the Salisbury meatballs. The gravy has a little bit of a bitter taste. I'll let you look in the crock pot. You get a better view of the meatballs. But yeah, I mean, I didn't even have to do the cornstarch slurry because everything I put in there, it just came out thick on its own. So we did not do the cornstarch slurry. The gravy is nice and thick, except it has a little bit of a bitter taste, and I don't know if it came from the ketchup or the Worcestershire sauce. But I don't care for that bitter taste. Glenn is eating some of it. I just don't want to put any on my potatoes. so yeah, it's I'll eat some meatballs, but I'm not a fan of the taste of the gravy. So a little too bitter for me and to put on my potatoes. But Glenn is eating it, and we'll see how the meatballs are. All right. So that space was left for my broccoli, which is not happening. So. All right, everyone, so I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm making chicken patties using the leftover mashed potatoes from when we made the meatballs. So yeah, this is the third time we're using those mashed potatoes. And I purposely make a lot knowing I'm going to use them for other meals. So, all right, I've got that row of crushed up crackers right here. Egg wash, and I'm going to put this to the side so I can make up the mix and then make the patties, and we'll get to frying them. I think I'm going to fry them in the electric skillet. I think I did that last time, and I think they fried faster and better. So yeah, let's get the mix going. Alright, so for the mix I'll be using those mashed potatoes and this can of chicken. So canned chicken, this is the last one we have. We got all of the canned chicken from the food pantry, so some of that food pantry canned goods are still lingering on to be used. So this is the last one. Alright, we'll get that in there. Alright, we're just going to break this up a little bit. And again, I've done a video on this plenty of times and just mentioned that you can use anything you want to make these patties. When we first started, we used canned tuna. I think we did salmon. So you can make salmon patties, tuna, whatever you want. Add whatever you want to it. Veggies, onion, whatever. So ours are very basic, a can of canned tuna or canned chicken. So if you get these canned chicken from the pantry, this is just an idea of how you can use that. Besides like in a salad or chicken tacos or something like that. Alright, so now I keep the mashed potatoes in the refrigerator until the last second that I need them. And that's just to keep them firm. Because if the mashed potatoes get too mushy, that's not going to make patties very good. So now I'm ready for the mashed potatoes, so I'm going to go grab those. Alright, so this is what we have left out of those mashed potatoes. I just put them in a Ziploc bag. It takes up less room. As I said, we have a small refrigerator, so to put bowls in there from leftovers takes up a lot of room for our refrigerator. Alright, so we're just going to mix this up together. This is probably one of my favorite meals. It's easy, but I love it. But I actually never heard of this meal before I came to Wisconsin. So a lot of the meals that I make because I learned them here. As I've said before, I grew up on pure Mexican food for the most part. Alright. Okay, I've got a plate here to set my patties on, so we're going to start making some patties. Alright guys, so I just did a whole spiel on how I make my patties, and I wasn't even recording, so just get some of your mixture. And I said it when I thought I was recording, this mashed potato is actually kind of soft, so I'm going to have to hurry and do these. So just make a patty, as thick or thin as you want. Put in your egg wash, and put it in your cracker coating. I got a plate with where the patties are going to go there. Alright, So I'm going to just make the rest of these and I'll be back when we're going to fry. Alright everyone, so we're going to get started frying. I was able to make 10 patties. So that's good because I love to eat more. I'm going to put some olive oil with the butter. I usually fry them in butter, but I like to add olive oil so the butter doesn't burn fast. Let's turn up the heat. And because this is always so unlevel, I put 2 pieces of a cardboard on each leg in the front here so it kind of levels it out a little bit more. And it's working because the oil is staying right in the center. Alright, so we're just going to start putting these in. I'll turn up the heat a little bit more. These are pretty good sized ones, so they'll take up more room. Flatten them out a little bit. They're pretty thick. Alright, so I got 9 in here. Normally, that was a little bit more mashed potatoes I had left over than usual. I usually have enough for 8, but I've got 1 more to fry after this. So, just that. I'm going to get a cookie sheet ready with some paper towel on it to put these on as they get finished. Alright, let's see, okay. This one in the middle is probably going to fry the fastest because that's where the majority of the heat is. But let's see if I got it at a good temperature where it doesn't fry too fast and burns. Alright, so I usually have to turn them around before I flip them over because one side gets brown and the other side doesn't. So I'm going to start just turning them around just so they cook evenly. And you're actually not even cooking anything, you're just binding it together. Because the potatoes are done, the chicken's cooked, you're just binding all this together. I get these little spatulas from the Dollar Tree. I like to use these when I'm cooking patties, especially because they're so tight up together. It just allows me a little bit more room. I think this middle one could probably get turned. Oh, that's pretty nice and golden. I'm going to throw some more, I probably could have left that there more, but I think I'm going to throw some more oil in there. Stuff seems to be evaporating here. Actually, put more butter in. I usually do go about through a stick of butter when I'm doing this. I'm going to turn the heat up just a tad bit. Right now I have the heat on the electric skillet at 400. Oh, that one broke apart. Yeah, for some reason the mashed potatoes were mushier this time. Yeah, like they're all falling apart. The corner ones aren't getting as much heat because the loop is like right here. So the corner here gets it, but not back here so much. Alright, I'll be back probably when they're all done. Shouldn't be too long. Alright everyone, so this is Glenn's plate. These were the best of the best looking ones. A couple of them just totally turned to mush. So I tasted them just to make sure the potatoes didn't go bad or something and it was breaking down. The taste is fine, they taste good. But I'm going to take this to Glenn and I'll show you what happened. Alright everyone, so this is just to show you not everything is perfect on YouTube videos, and real life happens. So this one here just really fell apart. I'm still going to eat it because it tastes good, it just fell apart. And this one semi fell apart. I've just been chomping away at these two, so this one looks pretty good and this one looks pretty good. I'm cooking the last one right now. So yeah, this is just all crumbs I took out of the frying pan. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. But yeah, not everything is perfect on YouTube, so can't just show you all the stuff that works out perfectly. And I really actually have never had that happen before. And it could have been a couple of things. One, because I crammed them all together, but I do normally do that. If I do it in the frying pan, I usually have no room for anything else but my spatulas in there. So it's not out of the ordinary that I would cram them like that. It could have either been, I don't know, I just didn't let it cook enough to make the crust set. I don't know. But nonetheless, they still taste okay, so I'm still going to eat it. Alright, so that's all there is to making chicken patties. If you want to do salmon patties, tuna patties, whatever patty you want to make. Put veggies in it, onions, whatever you want. So, alright, so I'm going to let this one cook. Alright, so that's all there is to this. Alright, so that is going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch it. I appreciate all of your support, and with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time. Alright everyone, so I am making supper. It's Friday night, and our meal plan changed a little bit this week. this was not on the meal plan for this week, but as you know, meal plans can change, and whatever didn't get made this week will just get pushed out to another week until it gets made. So what we're cooking here are some brats and some onions. So I'm sauteing some onions with the brats. Glenn isn't super hungry right away, so I'm cooking it on a lower heat. So by the time by the time this is done, he'll probably be hungry. So just cooking it a little slower. All right, so got the brats there, and I'm gonna make some baked potatoes in the microwave. So, and that's gonna be our supper for this Friday night.